Major moves. We going all in, like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.
Welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys for actively deciding to spend time with me. I'm just a guy in a Spider-Man mask, a cool one I might add. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just providing information and content already on the internet, and I just read it and present it to you guys in a way that may reach you or may not reach you. Whatever the reason is you found my page, I'm grateful you're here, and thank you for spending time with me. Let's get into this. What is up, everybody? I'm Mr. Man. It's been a good hot minute since we chatted here last, and you know what? I got some awesome news for you guys today. Well, I guess not awesome. It depends on how you look at it. But I want to take you guys through, I'm not going to call it the narrative. I want to call it what's happening in our physical world that we can see, and then what's happening behind the background. Remove that veil, or step through the veil, I should say, and see what's behind those curtains. Let's start off with the news that everybody in this world follows, except for certain people. Here we have global. I give a shit about my page, and I don't want to see it get blown up. Although I do post some racy things there. Not racy as in race and cultural and ancestry, but you know, some people's pages I know have been blown up for it. So we'll see how far I can take it. So this here says Canada likely to start at the start of a new COVID wave. How big will it get? Here we go again, guys. This came out 2 days ago. COVID-19, Canada likely at the start of a new wave of infections. Canada is, okay, let's just get to the article. I don't want to watch that video. Canada is likely at the start of a new wave of the COVID-19, but how bad will it be is unknown. Some health experts say. I wonder who these health experts are, what these health experts have taken, the experience of these health experts. It's that word they like to use, just experts. Experts means you're good at something. No, it just means you went to school. If you went to school and got a diploma and have credentials on your wall, they can call you an expert. You can have 20 years in this field. You can have 20 years as a naturopath. You can have 20 years as a homeopath. Anything along those lines. They wouldn't call you an expert because you don't have the credentials behind your name. Isn't that strange? Meanwhile, I personally would go to the person who has that 20 years behind their name, behind their history, you know, that experience there. I don't care if you have credentials and you're, 2 months into your new job there, you think you're somebody because you went to school and passed some courses with a 90, whatever. The turn comes after months. Is my mic working? Is it on? There we go. After months of low transmission of the virus, which continues to mutate and has recently spawned into variants. Here we go. EG5, a subvariant of Omicron, and BA 2.86. I'm sure a song will come out of that. We can probably depend on Jimmy Kimmel for that one there. That have captured the attention of scientists. We're starting to see an uptick in cases after a pretty long decline. We saw really an impressive drop in the number of infections that started right at the end of 2022. How ironic, and it's been calm ever since, huh? And continued to all the way to the middle of, that's so weird. And continued to all the way, okay, of the middle of the summer. Whatever. Okay. Where's the mouse? There we go. Here we go. Now for the States. I was showing you guys Canada. Here's where we're at in the States. You can see the lock step as they move and walk together. President Biden says he will request more funding for a new COVID vaccine. Huh. A new one. Were the other ones not effective? Maybe, I guess. I'm just a man in a grown-ass mask asking questions. I'm not a man in a grown-ass... I'm a grown-ass man in a mask asking questions. There we go. That makes more English sense. Okay. South Lake Tahoe, California. President Joe Biden said Friday that he is planning to request more money from Congress, go figure, to develop another new coronavirus vaccine. I'm not laughing at this. YouTube, don't blow my shit up. As scientists track new waves and hospitalizations rise, though not like before. Officials are already expecting an updated COVID vaccine that contain one version of the Omicron strain called XBB.1.5. It's an important change from today's combination shots, brand new one for something else, okay, which mixed the original coronavirus strain with last year's most common Omicron variants. But there will always be a need for updated vaccines if the virus continues to mutate. Wow. So you see where that's going. You heard the language there. There's always going to be a need for this. Let's just see where that's going to take us here. This is in Canada now again. On January 20th, 2023, the National Advisory Committee on Immunization, NACI, published guidance on COVID-19 vaccine booster doses, initial considerations for 2023, followed by guidance on an additional COVID-19 booster dose in the spring of 2023 for individuals at high risk of severe illness due to COVID-19 on March 3rd, 2023. Since then, the WHO has determined that COVID-19 is established an ongoing health. Is an established ongoing health issue and no longer constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. Transition to the long-term management of the COVID-19 pandemic is now needed, but there continues to be uncertainties as the ongoing epidemiology of COVID-19, duration of protection from current COVID-19 booster doses and previous infections, and vaccine effectiveness, VE, of future vaccines. So, on May 18th, 2023, the WHO Technical Advisory Group on COVID compositions released recommendations for updates to COVID-19 vaccines, antigen composition. An approach recommended by TAG, is monovalent XBB1 descendant lineage. What the fuck? So, authorization, European Center for Disease Prevention, the European Medicines Agency, EMA, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, vaccines and related. Wow, they just love making up these long-ass names. Anyways, the advisory, them, have also released decisions supporting XBB as a candidate for the COVID-19 vaccine composition update. Manufacturers have indicated that new COVID-19 vaccine formulations are in development and products are forthcoming. So new ones coming out, as we just saw from the whole Biden spiel there. That takes me. Is it Project Dynamo what I want to talk about? No, it's not. Not yet, at least. Not RLN. What I wanted to talk about is, in the background now, is this. Here we go. The stuff that I prefer to talk about because it makes me happy to talk about this stuff. I can just get out the exuberance within me. So, this article here from, doesn't say, oh it does there, today. Reserve Bank of Australia and the DFCRC unveil Cbdc pilot program on Ethereum. A lot of people in the XRP community, I've noticed, have been new, old, veterans, OGs, whatever you want to call it, however long you've been in this space, have been complaining, and they're using Ethereum, and why would they use Ethereum? Ethereum has high gas fees, it's slow, it's this, it's that. And it is all those things. But these, how do I want to say this? Ethereum, so with CBDCs, they're not going to just do one thing. They're not just going to settle and pay remittances, and then that's it. You know, cross-border here, cross-border there, pay this, pay that. That's the old world. We're moving into a new realm here. I've shown you guys Daryl Hubert, who's the founder of the DCMA, and he's talking about the UMU, Universal Monetary Unit coin. His CBDC is International CBDC. I'm going to tie this all together for you guys here. So a national CBDC would be something from like the Bank of Europe. That's the Bank of Europe. The ECB, Central Bank. The BOE from Bank of Canada, from the Federal Reserve. Those are going to be national CBDCs. Then you got something like the UMU, which is international. It's not tied to a sovereign country, as they would call it. This is international. You can use it wherever you need to use this, and they have their own settlement mechanism. Anyways, this coin itself, he calls it a hybrid because it can settle remittance. At the same time, it's also a security. It is a security as well. It has the coin itself comes with the I don't want to call it the smart contract, but the company issuance on there. So you can buy the coin itself, or you can buy the coin for the company itself also. So it's a hybrid. It's a security and a commodity at the same time. And then there's also been articles that have come out where so that being said, now that we know it's hybrid, we know a couple cryptocurrencies that are hybrid. And if you don't know, let me tell you, XRP is a hybrid cryptocurrency, and that might not be dubbed a cryptocurrency later on in life. I don't know. I know they call them crypto assets right now. Some people question why they're crypto assets. It's computer code. However, XLM is hybrid. XDC is hybrid. Algo can be hybrid, I want to say. I don't learn as much as I should or could about that one. Yeah, then you got something like HBAR, which is pure security as well, used by the enterprises. But essentially where I'm going is Ethereum can settle one part of this mechanism of this CBDC. Meanwhile, you have another mechanism that needs to settle for something else, potentially a remittance, to settle a bulk payment from from the, say, BOE, Bank of England, over to the MAS. And they want to settle that in this currency. So you're going to need something that has a platform that is not interoperable, but a single platform that is shared, that can settle in any currency you need to, even in Ethereum. Right? So you can take Ethereum, swap it for this intermediary here, this coin itself, remove the physical intermediary, use the coin for FX swaps. XRP does something like that, XLM does stuff like that, XDC does things like that. That is the intermediary there. That's the bridge currency. You can bridge it from Ethereum, swap it to actual currency at that point, into the the physical smart contract, which they would have. Well, when I say physical, I mean the smart contract behind the physical manifestation of that digital image that you have now, because that image will be the NFT, which will hold the value. And you don't necessarily have to use XRP for that. Maybe you want the smart computer of Ethereum, because Ethereum does have this technology behind it. Yeah, it's been hacked. It's been hacked numerous times. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't make the decisions on these things. I just follow along and present them as I see it. So, Ethereum, not there. So for Bank of Australia, okay, I want to show you guys this still. A lot of people cry, and this is where I'm going with this, okay? Here we are. Australian CBDC pilot for digital finance innovations. So there are different pilots that are taking place. It's not just we're going to pilot the CBDC. That's the whole thing we're going to do. Every single use case all at once. That is way too much. That's unrealistic. So they do fragmentations of what they want to do. This one had the GST. This one had for tax reporting, I believe it was, invoice reporting and taxes. And there was something else. I guess a few other things, but it wasn't like remittances, essentially. So here we go. This is the actual project report here for August 2023. You can see it right there. I'll read a bit of the executive summary, and then I'll go to the very bottom to show you guys who the team members are. Keeping in mind now that you know that these are interoperable, that they also is like a smart contract coin currency, essentially, if that makes sense, because it can settle in securities and it can settle in money, the monetary system, commodity, whatever. This payment landscape continues, and I showed you that in the UMU video, so go back and watch that again and listen to what he's saying. Now that it might make more sense, because I thought I had done a good job as I presented it with the images in the background that flashed as he was talking, as well as links with the QR code, but possibly I didn't. So I'm just going to put it together for you guys while we're here. Let me just clean my eyes out. So the payment landscape continues to evolve rapidly. This reflects significant changes in the payment preferences of households and firms, alongside innovation in underlying tech. In this context, considerable research has been undertaken over recent years, both in Australia and other jurisdictions, into the potential role that a CBDC could play in the payment system in the future. CBDC refers to a new digital form of money, so keep that in mind still, a digital form of money, denominated in a national currency that would be issued as a direct liability of the central bank. It could be designed for use by households and firms for everyday payments, which could be likened to a digital version of a banknote. And there you go, it's a banknote. So that's like the fiat currency that we have now. Back in the day when you gave them gold, they would write down on some notes, 1 ounce of gold, and here you go, here's your $20 or whatever it was. And you had a banknote because they were supposedly vaulting it for you at that point. So that money that they gave you was supposedly as good as gold. It could also be designed for use by a more limited range of market participants in specialized payments and settlement systems. While there is a significant body of existing research into the potential design and technical feasibility of CBDC, a question that has received less attention to date, particularly in countries like Australia that already have a modern and well-functioning electronic payment system, is the broader public policy rationale for a CBDC. To better understand how a CBDC might benefit the Australian financial system and therefore the wider Australian public, the Reserve Bank of India, Australia, and Digital Finance Cooperative Research Centre collaborated on a research project over the past year that explored use cases and business models that could be supported by issuance of a CBDC in Australia. Here we go. The project design. The key focus of the project was to engage with industry to explore use cases for CBDC. The project involved the RBA issuing a limited scale pilot. You heard it there, a limited scale pilot. So it's not the whole encompassing, this is our full plan. No, it's here's their full plan. We just want to focus on this, this, and this. The end. These participants sought to demonstrate how a CBDC could be used to provide innovative, and value-adding payment settlement services to households and businesses. Unlike earlier projects where the CBDC was purely a POC, proof of concept, the pilot CBDC was issued as a real legal claim on the RBA. Neat. In response to a white paper published in September 2022, you'll notice a lot of information comes out in September. You'll probably see something in, November, December as well. Every year, those tend to be the days, or months, I should say. I'm hopefully manifesting into this reality right now, the stablecoin guidance in November. And not just that, but the systemically important stablecoin in November. The benefit of exploring use cases with a pilot CBDC was that it forced the project to confront and provide insights into a range of issues that would be associated with issuance of a CBDC, should a decision to issue one in Australia ever be made. Should it ever be made? What are your thoughts on that one? Do you think it'll ever come into fruition? I have mine. I definitely have mine, and it's not no. It's definitely way more the other side there. This included legal, regulatory, technical, and operational considerations. There you go. You want your smart computer for that stuff. That's what you want. Okay. The project benefited from strong industry engagement with around 110 use case submissions from firms seeking to participate in the transactional pilot. Look at that. Bunch of people based on a range of criteria considered by the RBA and the digital, whatever they are. 16 of these use cases were subsequently selected to participate in the pilot, which took place from March to July 2023. In addition, around 60 submissions were received from entities seeking to contribute their views on a CBDC use case while stopping short of participating in the transactional pilot phase of the project, to target larger financial institutions, and often involved a consortium of entities collaborating on specific use cases. In addition to the transactional pilot, the project included an extensive industry consultation process with more than 50 companies and government departments interviewed for their views on CBDC and potential use case. I want to see that. I also want to see this pilot. I'm going to try and dig for that for you guys here. I feel like this community deserves it. We deserve to know what was going on and to see what had taken place. If you feel differently, put it down below. Let me know. Please comment. I love when you guys comment. I enjoy reading them. I like the engagements, You want to read the use case findings? The submissions covered a wide range of CBDC use cases that could potentially deliver benefits to Australia household and businesses. 4 themes merged. What are these 4 themes? Markets, digital money, inclusion and resilience, and smarter payments. So, digital money, promoting private digital money innovation, inclusion and resilience, enhancing resilience and inclusion in the digital economy. What else? Enabling a range of complex payment arrangements. And what else we got up here? What else? Supporting innovation of finance and other asset markets. Other asset markets. Let's see what they're about. Many submissions highlighted the ability to directly control and program a tokenized CBDC as enabling a range of complex payment arrangements that are not effectively supported by existing payment systems. Submissions highlighted how it was possible to write code, such as smart contracts, as we were talking about, that automatically initiate payments using a tokenized CBDC when predefining conditions are met. So that's where I want to say, is it predefining for the smart contract? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, when condition A is met, then execute condition. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. This can allow complex transactions such as multi-party or multi-stage payments to execute automatically and simultaneously, reducing the need for costly reconciliation processes and the risk of failed transaction. So, as I read this here, I hear people tell, all these multi-signing, that's a lot happening at once. And people are like, well, if you only have to hold XRP for 17 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever seconds, think about how many transactions can now be made with using artificial intelligence and digital. Everyone's being paid like instantly. Think of the banks, how much more they can move now. Wholesale money. If you thought they were moving a lot now, and you learn about these new trillions coming in, we're already in the quadrillions. Wait till they start talking about the quadrillions that'll be made, because how fast money moves. And if XRP has to keep changing this, you're going to blow through that 100 billion quickly. So it has to be at a high value and a high velocity to keep swapping all these things. If the you and me of the world are potentially using XRP, and the banks are using XRP, and firms are using XRP, and XLM's being used over here, and for trade settlement, you got XDC over there. And if these are like, I want to say 3 of the main coins, I'm not saying they are, but 3 of the main coins, the amount and velocity they will be moving and converting money just astounds me. I hope you guys see what I'm talking about here. So I don't want to get stuck on this, but I did want to show you guys that, and I will dig for some more information on this as it comes out. I want you guys to be in the know. Why? Because I like being in the know, and I like you guys being in the know. So I was going to talk about the RLN. Just down on the white paper right here. The RLN is the Regulated Liability Network. There's been multiple occasions where the BIS, the IMF, the Daryl Hubert from Unicoin, the UMU coin, states that there's going to be a shared ledger, one regulated ledger is what they're playing with right now, that everybody that's regulated would need to connect to. That would be the highway, the information highway, if you will. All right, that's the Regulated Liability Network. I will get more information on that as it unfolds more and I learn more about it. But what I wanted to get into was this. Project Dynamo. CbdCs, stablecoins, and deposit tokens, wholesale adoption explorations and challenges from June 2023. I'm not going to go too far into this. Oh, my bad. I wanted to go back to Australia. I did want to show you guys this. Watch this. Alright. These guys are a huge part of them. Like, they're team members, right? So don't fret. Ripple's in a lot more than you know, a lot more than I know. But the more I know and I uncover, the more you guys know and you uncover. So stay cool as a cucumber. Oh, Hedera's also here too, right? You got Hedera up in this jizoint. Medico's up in there. We all know who owns Medico. Has a stake in that bad boy. Oracle's here. Partier's there. We got some big names. Westpac Bank. Why do they sound so familiar? Oh, why do you sound familiar? Oban Novati Group. They are also a Ripple partner. Intuit Australia. I was looking at you earlier. Fame Capital. Digital Mutual. DigiCash. So, look, and we also got Dilip Rao over there too. Like we're in there like swimwear. Don't sweat. Don't sweat. All right. Project Dynamo. I wanted to show you guys this quick video of Project Dynamo. Let me just turn off my mic so it's not too loud here for you guys.
Small and medium enterprises are the lifeblood of most economies. They account for more than 90% of all businesses, contribute to more than 50% of employment globally, and play a significant role in global supply chains. And yet, they chronically face great difficulties in accessing finance. In developing countries alone, SMEs have unmet financing needs of over $5.2 trillion every year. A typical global supply chain consists of an anchor buyer and multiple layers of suppliers. SME suppliers further down the supply chain often face challenges in obtaining finance because they have little collateral nor established credit record. Project Dynamo, the first SME finance project of the Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub and a collaboration with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and LinkLogis, delivered a groundbreaking prototype for using digital trade tokens in supply chain finance for SMEs. On the blockchain-based prototype platform, an anchor buyer buys a digital trade token from a token issuer. When the anchor buyer makes a purchase from a supplier, it makes a conditional payment to the supplier with the token at the same time. Different conditions could be programmed onto the token using smart contracts. For example, the payment will be effected when an electronic bill of lading has been issued on a trade platform.
Okay, Project Dynamo. So this is about the SMEs, small and medium enterprises. Okay? I'm going to play this for you right here. I'm going to turn off my audio.
For small and medium enterprises making payments to global suppliers, life is far from simple. Their payments needs are becoming more complex, yet the global payment infrastructure has stayed more or less the same since the 1970s. And if you're on the accounts payable team at a small and medium enterprise, you have several significant pain points. You can't attach invoices to your payments. You have limited visibility into the total costs and timing of the payment. And finally, you can't be sure when the payment will actually arrive. And if it doesn't arrive, investigations are cumbersome and expensive. We're solving these pain points with RippleNet. It's a network of banks and payment providers that can now provide their small and medium enterprise customers with one frictionless experience to send money globally. Here, for example, we see a dashboard of Alpha Company's disbursement history provided by their financial institution, NowBank. Let's say that Alpha Company wants to settle an invoice from their casing manufacturer in Thailand. Now Bank has provided the functionality to easily upload and scan the manufacturer's invoice, autofilling the payment information into their ERP offering. Through Xcurrent's capabilities on the back end, Alpha Company's experience has been entirely reinvented. They can instantly validate the beneficiary's account information to avoid a failure. They receive a real-time quote on the total cost of the payment, and they know the exact payment amount and delivery time. Once they click send, the payment gets delivered to the beneficiary in real time along with the invoice. For the supplier in Thailand, a record of payment settlement is delivered along with a reference invoice. This allows Alpha Company to reconcile the payment with little to no effort, turning what was once a manual process into an automated one. Let's recap the new benefits to Alpha Company. Easier reconciliation through rich data attachments with every payment, an enhanced customer experience through end-to-end transparency around total costs and delivery timing, and peace of mind through complete certainty that's provided by real-time settlement of payments. To learn more, please contact us at Rba'S.
Is it just me? Or does it seem like Ripple is talking to that Project Dynamo there? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. There we go. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Could be. Where am I right now? Not there. Not there. There we go. Is that it? No, I was right here. So, this I want to show you guys next. Those parallels, right? Just the parallels. I'm not saying that Ripple is in Project Dynamo, but Ripple is now part of the task force for the BIS cross-border payments. And here we have SMEs now for cross-border. I'm just putting the pieces together. Could be something, could be nothing. I don't know. Probably nothing. So, people see a war in front of their face right now. The BRICS nations is dividing and ripping the world apart. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Okay. People know China to be a communistic place, and they don't work with anybody. And U.S. would never do business with China. Never. Ever. So the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, Innovation Hub, Hong Kong Center, and the HKMA are launching Project Dynamo to investigate the compliant use of the central DeFi. Tools such as blockchain and smart contracts can be used to improve access to finance for small and medium enterprise. According to the World Bank, in developing countries, along with SMEs, have unmet financing needs to over $5.2 trillion every year, equivalent to 1 to 1.4 times the current level of global SME lending. Despite being the lifeblood of most economies, these companies are chronically underfunded. We plan to extend our research into related topics such as DeFi, decentral identifiers, and interoperability of digital payment methods such as stablecoin and central bank digital currencies. The use of artificial intelligence and big data to enhance SMEs, credit risk assessment, and innovative supply chain financing solutions are also the interest to us. We want to hear from your companies. We want you guys to call us. Let's read some comments. These are funny. Is this meant seriously? BIS is working together with Hong Kong authorities. Why not directly with the Communist Party of PRC? Beware with whom you join forces. The comments. There's some posts I read on Twitter, and I legitimately, after looking at the post, I go right to the comment section. It just makes me laugh. This isn't Twitter. This is LinkedIn, though. More professional, clearly. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys that. I do hope that you enjoyed the content I brought to you today. Love you all. Much love.
Making major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.